So we have worked with 4 of the purchase orders and invoiced 3 of them and cancelled 1 of them. So we can create one more purchase order by clicking here on new. So you can select the vendor for whom you want to create the purchase order. Select a vendor. And the site and warehouse in which the goods has to be placed. And the purchase type is purchase order. Then you can click on OK. That site will be picked automatically. So here in the line level, you can pick the item number, what you have to buy or which you want to buy. You can select one item. Then quantity, unit price and net amount you can see. Suppose you can give here as 10 and gone. Then see, just like in a journal, here also in a document like in purchase order, sales order, anywhere, you will have header level and line level, 2 levels. Now we are in the line level, since you can see this is being highlighted, and here is the line level. And you also have header level. If you click on this, it will get highlighted and header level menu will get opened. It takes a while. Well, this is the header level menu, sorry. Collapse all. So we have 6 menus, 7 menus in this header level. So you can give lot of other details or identify some default details that are defaulted from the vendor master into the purchase order in this particular place. As you can see, currency, the terms of payment and the method of payment are defaulted from the vendor vendor master where we have created, from the all vendors. Whenever you select the vendor, automatically all these details will be defaulted onto the order. Other than this, we'll discuss all of them in a while. We also have certain details here in the header level. This is all belonging to the header level, and this is to the line level, all this that we have here. So most of them are into related to the procurement or into the supply chain, as well as there are few options for the finance related things too. We'll see them as well. Okay. Firstly, let us discuss this with the header level only then. So we have 7 menus here, as you can see. It's a general menu where you can see the general details. While we are creating the purchase order, whatever you see there, when you click on a new, you will see a menu right on the right hand side. So all those details are here again. PO number, order type is purchase order. Suppose in case if you select order type as journal, you can come here and change it to purchase order if you want to proceed further with the order. Or if you want to stop it or just keep it as a draft and nobody want to make any other transactions on this, you can again change it to journal, so that it will, on a journal you can't post a product receipt or a invoice. It will just remain as is, and later if you want to post any transactions on the purchase order like a receipt or invoice, you can change it back to purchase order. Yes, then you have your vendor account here, and the invoice account is as same as the vendor account. Then storage dimensions like site and warehouse, and other reason codes if you want to give any, you can add any reference number. RMN number is for the written orders actually. In case if you are proceeding with the written order or credit note, you can give this RMN number. Then you have certain setup details like sales tax group and tax exemption numbers you can give here. Posting profile is by default taken as general from the accounts payable parameters. In case if you want to change it, you can change it to another posting profile. Then rest all are the same accounting date as well as the order name. Then the details of here, the requester pool details and the language details. date and time of when it was created. Then addresses, you have your uh, delivery address of the company to which the goods are being delivered. If you want to change the address from this warehouse to another warehouse, since the goods has to be delivered to other warehouse, you can select that address. That automatically will be taken here in the address details. So when you print a confirmation, this address will be printed on the confirmation, and when you share that confirmation to the uh, vendor, so vendor will deliver the goods to that address only, whatever the address that you print on the confirmation. And then something related to delivery, you can have all these details created in the procurement and sourcing module related to delivery and transportation, like mode of delivery, in which mode of delivery you are receiving, truck or car or any other mode of delivery like cargo flight. Then delivery terms, if there are any conditions for delivery, like you have to pack like this or bring it like this, though you can keep some delivery terms as well. Then the details related to transportation, shipping, carrier service, and which group it falls into. All of the details that you can configure and give. So these all things fall into supply chain again, not into finance. And pricing, price and discount. So yeah, you can see the currency, the effective currency for the order, and the net terms of payment, and the due date will fall according to the invoice date actually, because purchase order date are not going to do anything. So this terms of payment will be again taken onto the invoice when you create an invoice. It will be considered, and the invoice date is taken as the basis for calculation of the due date, applying this net terms of payment. Then we have a method of payment. So customer accepts payments only through check. So we can give a default method of payment as check. So then cash discount, we can give a cash discount code, and you can see the discount percentage applicable is 10% here. So these discounts and charges are related to trade discounts, not to cash discount. So this is cash discount. Trade discounts are something that are applicable according to the agreements that we make. So if at all we are buying this much a quantity of goods, vendor will provide us the trade discount of 5% or like that. So that can be configured in procurement and sourcing module, again the trade agreements part or the purchase agreement. So if you configure that, you can see this discount groups available here, or the line discount or multiple discount group, multi-line discount groups available. So that's for trade discounts. Again, charges, we're gonna discuss charges in a while. I mean, in our next chapter of the class, how to apply charges and what is the significance of charges in the purchase order process. Then in case if you're having a foreign trade, the details related to it, like transaction code, transports, and to which port it is being delivered to, procedure of statistics, and default financial dimensions at the header level. So default financial dimensions, you can give it to the header level. Again, you can give specific financial dimensions to the line level. So there is a variance. If you give into the header level, you, you can also get it applied to all the line level. Automatically, it will apply to the line level. And if you want to change it to the line level, for one line, if you want to give Hyderabad dimension, and another line, if you want to give Bangalore dimension, can also give that. No problem. So it will it will post two different lines in the voucher. That's all. Dividing the same account into another financial, adding another financial dimension, will post two different uh, lines in a single voucher. So that's all. It will total the amount to the same, but if since there are multiple financial dimensions used in the line level, so it will anyway post different lines in a single voucher, differentiating the amount between the financial dimensions. Um, then can go to the line level, delivery address. Yeah, update all. We have changed delivery address, right? So it's asking, do you want to update it? So for every line, again, if you select a line here, this is a line level, you have line details here. So all these are specific to this particular line, what we have created here. If you create one more line, so then they will find another details of that line here in this. So here you have a lot of menus again for each line. So you have a general menu where you can see the general details of the product, like product name and the purchase is origin, but line status is open order yet. So if it is confirmed, you can see confirmed, received and delivered. Again, for each line you will have status, because if you have 4 lines in the purchase order, you received only one line and invoiced this particular line. I showed you how to do that. In that case, uh, this line status only will get changed to invoiced, and the other 4 line status will still remain as open only, and the order status also will remain as open only. We know that too. So you can also give that or give that line status here in the fields. So you can personalize this and add a field here in the line level as well. So if you are stopping this from delivery, you can also stop this order here, so that it will be stopped from receiving for a while at least. So when if you want to take it back, you can keep it as no, and you can post the product receipt once again. So prevent partial delivery is one option we have. If you don't want to receive any partial deliveries, you want to receive the complete delivery at a time, you can use this option. If you have received a partial delivery and if somebody tried to post the product receipt, it will not allow you. If a user try to post a product receipt, it will not allow the user, saying that partial delivery is not accepted on this order. You have to go for a full delivery or receive the full delivery. So upon receiving the full delivery, then only we'll post a product receipt to the order. Until then, we don't post it. That's it. And then you have certain setup of this matching policies we're going to discuss in our next chapter anyway. But then this, you can give sales tax groups, item sales tax groups here in this, and the 1099 specific to US taxation. You can give that as well here. And the inventory quantity is 10 anyway, it's taken from here, whatever you have given here. And the stock delivery, confirmed delivery date, you can give here when which date they are going to deliver it. If it's not confirmed, then that's okay. No need to give any. It will get updated once you receive the goods. And the address again. You can also give specific addresses for the specific lines. Suppose if this line cricket balls has to be delivered to warehouse number 2, and the next item that you would give here should be delivered to another address. So you can give another address to that line level item, so that vendor will differentiate. So this has to be delivered to one address and the other goods has to be delivered to another address. So it's from the order will be from the same customer for him, I mean from our side, but he will deliver the goods to 2 different places as per our requirement. So that is when you give different addresses for each product here. So you have to inform him the same. And then product details. In case if you are using a product master, you can see this configuration and color details and size and style if you are using it, as well as product dimensions. If you have product dimensions for a product, you can use them. Since for this is a normal product and we don't have any dimensions, there is no option to select it. But if it is a product master, yeah, we can select it. That's one we have. Then others like site and warehouse, you can give here in the product. And if you're using the batch number, serial numbers and all tracking numbers, then you can also enable them. And that's mostly used when they are using warehouse management. If they are not using warehouse management, no need of this. But if they have good warehouse management process, then they have to, they'll maintain all these things. So that again comes into warehouse management and into SCM. Then others like delivery. In case what should be the assumed delivery date, you can give, or the confirmed delivery date, and over delivery and under delivery, how much percentage of over delivery you can accept or how much percentage of under delivery you can accept. A percentage only you can give here. Then you have something for picking, which is again into warehouse management and supply chain. Price and discounts, again this is also into trade discount. Projects, in case if you are working on purchase of these products through project management, you can give a project ID here, but we don't have project management enabled anyway, so no options for the product packages. Variants, you can add variants again, foreign trade. details for this order, and this is one important page where you have fixed assets. We can also procure this item as a fixed asset. This we will learn in the further class of fixed assets, actually, how we can acquire a fixed asset through purchase order process, or how we can also create and acquire a new fixed asset through purchase order process. So this is very important. Anyway, we'll discuss in the fixed asset class. We're not going to skip this. For now, yeah, we're going to skip this. So this is for 1099 US specific taxation, which is specially on the buying of goods or vendor invoices only. You have 1099 tax. So that would be the details in the header level and line level, and you have certain other details here in the action pane as well. This is called as action pane. Actually, from a sales order means if you have a sales order already for which you need to procure goods and deliver it to the customer. So from a sales order, you can create a purchase order. If you want to create a purchase order from a sales order, you can click here from sales order and select the goods that are there on the sales order, and lines will be created automatically, or a new purchase order will be created automatically with the same lines on the sales order, so that you can buy the goods from a vendor and sell it to the customer directly. So that's what. Then you can copy the purchase order also. Copy the purchase order means, suppose if earlier we have seen that option of journal, right? So you can create one purchase order as journal, and all the time you can copy the lines from journal, or copy from journal means everything will be copied as it is from that journal, and a new purchase order will be created. So that's also one easy option that you can use in case if you are doing creating same kind of purchase orders all the time, which is having multiple lines and different details. If you want the same order to be created, you can use that process, copy from journal lines. Then you can also see this totals option. It will show you the details of all the totals on the purchase order. By aspect, it will show you what is the net price, and then the discount if any. See, subtotal amount is 1000, total 10 balls, right? 10 into 100 is 1000. And in case if it is a foreign currency, it will show the foreign currency and the exchange rate between your accounting currency and the foreign currency here. And we don't have any trade discounts, so there are no trade discounts available. Then the charges, if you apply charges, you can see it here, and if you apply sales taxes, you can see it here. And if you have any rounding adjustments, if you are done manually, you can also see it here. So you can see cash discount as 100. In case if you avail cash discount will be 100, because 10% cash discount is given on this order at header level. So that's what it is showing, 100 as cash discount. Then total credit limit for the vendor is 1 lakh, as we have given in the uh, vendor master, I think. So credit available is only 19,000, means up to a total 81,000 we have done orders and to this vendor already, and we are yet to pay the amount of 81,000 to this vendor. Only 19,000 is available as a credit further. However, it will not stop you, since we did not enable the parameters of credit limits in accounts payable parameters. Then in case if you're having any prepayment, so which we're going to discuss further again in this course only, prepayments on purchase orders. So you can see that prepayment amount here, or how 10% prepayment is there and 5% you have paid. So you can see the remaining 5% here in that case. And measurement. So this is into supply chain again. I mean, how much quantity you have, what is the weight in case if you are measuring it through weight, and volume in case if you're measuring it through volume. Normally you are using only quantity, right? So you can go with quantity since it's pieces. Some other goods will have weight, so 10 kgs, 50 kgs, like that. So then you can see it here. Some other will have volume, like in liters or any other details, so that you can see here. Then you have purchase. This is where you can create a credit note or maintain charges. Then apply sales taxes, look at the trade discounts, and then prepayments in case if you have any prepayments. Then inquiries and confirmation. You can create a confirmation, or you can normally confirm a purchase order from here in the purchase. And you have this distribute amounts and view distributions. Actually, you can also use this option to distribute the amounts, but this is applicable only to the uh, service items, not to the products. So I think you cannot use this distribute amounts option here. Normally, you can use this page to distribute the financial voucher to various financial dimensions. It's taking some time to load. So generally, you see this account. This should be purchase expenditure invoiced account. So this account will be taken into consideration. If it is a service good, then this account will come into picture rather than the invoice account. Sorry, inventory account. So this account can be apportioned, or the balance in this account can be apportioned to multiple financial dimensions if you want. See, 100% is going to this account generally in case of service items only. This is not a service item now that we are going to buy, but in case of service items, you can do this one. 50% you can give another financial dimension combination, and you can give the same account and give another 50% to different financial dimension. That way you can distribute the existing 1,000 amount to different financial dimensions. So that's possible using this accounting distribution. So whenever you post a voucher, 2 lines or 3 lines will be posted according to the distribution that you gave with the main account plus dimension value combination. If you want to change the main account, that also you can do it. But that's not an obvious situation all the time. Mostly they will distribute the amounts between financial dimensions only if they want to. You use the same main account but with different financial dimensions. So that you can use it by here split option, delete and corrections. But since it's a product, not an item, so we can't do it here. But if it is an item, we can do it. I'll show you further how we can do it. Then what else we have here in manage? View line amounts. You can see the line amounts here in the manage. Normally it shows you the line details. It's not loading quickly. We can see the line details like ordered quantity, ordered 1,000, received nothing, invoiced nothing, pending invoice 0, and invoice remaining 1,000. You don't have any pending invoice yet because you did not received anything. So remaining is 1,000. So you can see it like this, but line by line. If you have another line, you can see for the second line, third line also here in this page only. How much is the amount, how much you have received, how much you have invoiced, and all you can see in the, line by line details you can see here. It shows the feasibility. So normally if you have line right, line number 1 is this one. So number by number, it will show the present you the line details there in the manage page. Then you can use this page for receipt to post a product receipt and to look into the product receipt journal in case after posting it. Then we have invoice menu where you can create an invoice as well as a pro forma invoice. Pro forma invoice is nothing but a dummy invoice. If at all we post an invoice for this order, how it will look like, you can see it through the pro forma invoice. That's all. Then you can see the journals here in the pending invoices, or in case if you post an invoice, you can see it here. If you create an invoice and leave it over without posting, you can see it in the pending invoices. Then retail details, in case if you are using the retail module, docking packages and all. Then in case if you are using warehouse management, the planning workbench will load, or warehouse sheet will take you to the warehouse page. And in case if you have transportation details, then you can also see this here, route and all, and how you can plan your goods transportation through this particular page, or there is another module of transportation. So that's all. And we have this one as well. This is for print management. Come on, it's not loading. Print management, in case if you have any trade agreements or if you want to raise a case for this particular PO, you can use this option. So as a finance functional consultant, all that you have to understand is the financial effects of the order, what we are going to do, and how it gonna affect the accounts part, and how it gonna distribute the amounts or post a voucher, and in case if you want to correct it, how you can make corrections again. So you have to understand the purchase order process as well, because you can't straightly make away the corrections in the finances. If you want to straightly make away corrections, you can do it from the general ledger also. Decrease account balance from one account and increase balance in another account by posting a normal journal voucher. But you also need to go through the original process of purchasing, or in case if you want to make any reversals or corrections, you have to follow the normal procedure of on the purchase order itself. You can't skip any of the step here. So that's what is the significance of understanding why how a purchase order is operated, or how an invoice is created and the P2P cycle is done in the accounts payable module in Dynamics. Here also you have some details. You can add a line. If you want to add a line, you can click on add line. Here you can select another item if you want to. Suppose something like this iPhone 12 mini. You can select it here, and you can also select the product variants here. 12 GB black is by default. If you want to change it, you can change it. Select any other combination. Three of them and three of them. Colors also you will see here. You can select any configuration and any color. So you can also add, you have this option of add lines, plus add lines. So this is used generally to copy the lines from another purchase order, from the past purchase orders, whatever you have created. If you want to copy the lines from that, you can use this option of add lines. It will directly take you to the page where you can see multiple purchase orders that were posted earlier. Where it is not showing. Actually, criteria, it is selecting, but I want to look into. Sorry, 1 second. Add lines. It is taking this one only. 36, 5. Okay, I think this should be the option. Hmm. 1 second. So if you click here, click OK. Purchase quantity 10. Create. So this is also created. I mean, you can also add lines from here. I mean, multiple items and the quantity that you want to buy, rather than adding one by one here. You can use this option here, but from the orders to copy, I think this should be from here. Copy from all. You can use this purchase order line option to copy that. You can also add products here. This should be the same as add lines, I'm guessing so. So this is again, it will show you some retail hierarchy from where you can see where the products are placed. Normally you can place the products here under action. So if it is under boxing or this one, biking or skating or skateboarding or any other sport. So your product will be placed within this hierarchy. Actually, can open the hierarchy, select the product and add it into the line. So that's what about this adding product. Then you can remove this line if you want to by using this option, or you can use this purchase order line where you can create a delivery schedule. Means if at all this but 10 goods are being delivered in a schedule like 5 once and 5 next, you can use this delivery schedule option. If you want to create a credit note, you can use this option. So we'll anyway see this credit note creation further. And this one, copy from all, means if you want to copy the lines from another purchase order, I think you can use this option. So here it is. You have a lot of 4 purchase orders or 5 purchase orders until now. You can select any of the order and copy the lines of that order into this particular order. Suppose if I select this line, click on OK. See, that line is copied here as a second line, 12 quantity line from the order number 1 is copied here onto this, so that you can do this from copy all lines actually. And you can also display dimension. This is product dimensions, I think. Then you have financials where you can distribute amount for a single line and maintain charges for each line, then apply sales taxes to each line, which you're going to see further. And in case if budget is applicable, you can also see the budget check errors and warnings. Then the other things related to inventory, product and supply and update lines. So most all of them into supply chain again, not at all related to finance. And now you can delete this line, proceed with the order. So here I am going to confirm the purchase order. So that should be the process as we know it already. Create a purchase order, confirm the purchase order, receive it, then invoice it. So now I'm confirming the order. So the order is confirmed. Then you can receive the goods on the order. So if you want to receive, go to receive and click on product receipt. We have seen already different options available for receiving the goods in partitions, like just give a number here. So receiving the goods in partitions, like receiving 5 goods at one time and 2 goods another time and posting multiple product receipts for a single purchase order. We have seen it already. Here we have receiving 10 quantity, as you can see here. So I can click on OK. So total 10 quantity I'm receiving. So after posting product receipt, we can also cancel the product receipt and correct the product receipt. That also we have seen in our previous class. So now you see this order status is changed to received since we have posted the product receipt already. You can see that product receipt here. Now I'm going to invoice it and I'll click on generate invoice. So an invoice is created. Again, in the invoice also you have header level and line level. You will have almost all the same kind of details from the purchase order to the header level of from the header level to the line level into the invoice as well. You find few more details only here, fewer details only here compared to the purchase order in the invoice. Then you can give an invoice number like we usually do. So I can give this data INV 56. Anything you can give. Whatever the vendor will give, that you will give. On the invoice date, you can give as some other date in the month. Then the same 10 quantities taken here, and you can update match status. And it is passed, and you can post it if you want to. Here also you can see some details, how product receipts are being matched. So we have one product receipt, right? So it will be matched. See here it is ticked. If you have multiple product receipt, you can see them being ticked. Or if you want to decrease the quantity that you want to go invoice, so you can also reduce it from here so that it will also change in the invoice line. So that we have seen in our previous class as well, how to reduce the quantity from product receipt and how that will show up here in the invoice line or update in the invoice line. Then update match status we use for comparison of the prices and quantity from purchase order to invoice if they are same or if there is any other variance. If it is a variance, if there is a variance, it will show the match status as failed actually. But if it is say the same again, like the quantity and the pricing everything, then it will not show as it will show as passed. But we also have separate rules for it, how when it have to show passed and when it have to show failed. We'll discuss that further. It's very important anyway. So that we will cover in the matching validations or invoice validations class. Then we have totals option where you can see the invoice total just like you have seen the purchase order totals. So subtotal amount, total discount if there is any, charges, sales tax, rounding off, you can give some number, invoice amount and cash discount amount in case if you are availing cash discount, and cash discount date is 25th December because you gave 15th December here as the invoice date. So net 10 days is the cash discount expiry date. So in 10 days, the cash discount will get expired. That's what you have here. You also have compare charges value in case if you have charges between purchase order to invoice, and if there is any variance, it will compare usually. So that's all. Then you can post it if you want to. You can default it from product receipt quantity. I mean, this line will be defaulted from the product receipt quantity. If you are going to invoice only the goods that you have posted product receipt, so you can use this option. Otherwise, you can use another option called as ordered quantity. So if you use ordered quantity, it will bring entire all the lines from the purchase order regardless of whatever you have received. It won't consider the received goods, and it will bring all the goods that are there on the purchase order lines to the invoice lines. You can post invoice for all of them. So that's between the variance between these two. Mostly they'll use product receipt quantity in case if they're using product receipt. Few businesses doesn't also create product receipt since they don't want to maintain any inventory related things. They'll directly post a invoice for a crude without creating skipping the product receipt. Also, we can post a invoice actually. So you can try it and let me know if you have any difficulty. You can directly post an invoice by skipping the product receipt also, but that's not a good practice. So that will not affect you the inventory transactions and only post a financial voucher. Then you have other options of process to print anything, and then review. In case if there are any matching failures, we can use this option of review, which we're gonna see in the next further class. Then financials, like distributing amounts and applying charges and taxes, can do it from here in the header level. So now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to post this invoice. I'll just close this one, and this will remain as a pending invoice on the purchase order. So it's created, but I'm not going to post it. So now we are in the purchase order levels. You see purchase order number. The status of the purchase order is received and not invoiced yet. So if I click on invoice, I can see a pending invoice available on this purchase order. If at all, if there is any pending invoice, you can see this option getting reflecting here, pending invoices. If you click on this again, it will take you to that one or two pending invoices pending on this order. See, this is the invoice, Tata PO invoice 56 is pending. Click on it. If you edit it, it will again take you to the invoice page. You can also have multiple invoices pending on a PO. That's some obvious sometimes. See, again, you are into the purchase or into the invoice. Again, it is asking you to update the match status. Click here. It will show as passed here. And then you can post it. Suppose otherwise, if you don't want to post it, I mean, for now, if you don't want to post it and let it remain as a pending invoice, you can also see the list of pending invoices in another inquiry. So I'll just duplicate this tab. Suppose if you go to accounts payable, invoices, and you can see the option pending vendor invoices here. First option, invoices, pending vendor invoices. Open vendor invoices also you have. Open vendor invoices are something that you have posted but not settled with a payment, which are open it, which are has to be settled with a payment will be open vendor invoices. But pending vendor invoices are something which you did not post it, which you just created and left it as a draft and which you have to post further. Now if I click on this one, pending vendor invoices, you can see this invoice that you have created but not posted. So invoice number 56, and for this so and so company, so and so purchase order should be the invoice date. Update status is matched. You have a product receipt too, and you can post it from here if you want to. This way, you can just click it and post it, or if you want to delete it, you can select it and you can delete it from here. So if you delete it again, it will entirely gets deleted from the purchase order also. See now if I refresh this order is still in received state. If I go to invoice, I don't see any more pending invoices because we have deleted it. So that's how. So now what I'll do is I'll show you an example where you can create a single invoice for two purchase orders, two or more purchase orders. You can create a single invoice actually. So how to do that, I'll show you. See this purchase order number 5 with a quantity of 10 of cricket balls is received, status of received and not invoiced yet. I'll create one more purchase order for the same vendor. So in order to create a single invoice for multiple purchase orders, it should be from the same vendor actually, because for same vendor only you can create a single invoice, right? So I'm selecting this one, creating another purchase order number 6. I'll select an item here like this leather cricket ball. We'll also buy another 10 quantity from here, and the unit price I'll give is 150. So this is for 1500. So this is a different item and I'm buying it from the same vendor again. I'll confirm the order. So warning that its vendor code is not authorized. That's okay. You can proceed further even if it is showing this warning. You can go to receipt and product receipt in order to receive the goods. You can give another one here like PRN 57, let's say. Then total 10 quantity of the leather cricket balls as well for 1500. You can click on OK and it will get posted. Regardless of this warning, it will anyway get posted. And if you want to clear this warning, I showed you the steps too. So go to receive. Now the product receipt is posted and the order status also changed to received, as you can see here. Now we have two purchase orders, order number 5 and 6 for the same vendor Tata company, which are in the received status. As you can see, purchase order number 5 and 6, both of them are confirmed orders and both are received status. So we have to further proceed to invoice them. But what I'm doing is I'm not going to invoice them directly one by one invoice. I'm not going to do it from here. I'm going to create a separate invoice where I can consolidate both the purchase orders, or two of the orders at a time. I'll consolidate and create now. So I'll show you that how we can do it. For that, I have to go to this pending vendor invoices menu, or I'll again show you the navigation. Go to accounts payable, invoices, pending vendor invoices here. Click on pending vendor invoices. So it's an empty form where you don't have any pending vendor invoices set. You can create one. Click on new. So here it will give you a pending form or a empty page or empty invoice where you can fill the details. Now invoice account means which vendor you want to create the invoice for. It's Tata company. I can select the vendor. Okay. Then you can give the invoice number if you want to. Uh, Tata INV. And suppose let's say an example. Then here you can see the option. Which purchase order you want to select for invoicing. Purchase order number 5 or 6. You can say purchase order number 5 for suppose. Let's see what happens if I select purchase order number 5. I can see the purchase order line automatically reflecting here. Item number, cricket ball, 10 quantity, unit price 100, line amount 1000. But our agenda is that I also need to add another purchase order to this particular PO, right? I mean, sorry, to this invoice. So we can do this by using this option of plus here. You see this plus symbol here. You can click on this plus symbol, add one more purchase order. See, you can select this one. Also, you can also see include option. If you include it, it will also appear onto the invoice automatically. I'll show you once again. See, initially I've selected purchase order number 5, and you can see product receipt number 56 is taken into consideration because for product purchase order number 5, this is the product receipt. You can click on this plus symbol, select the other order, also click on OK. Then it will also get selected. Then you can click on OK here. So see, now you can see purchase orders are multiple, product receipts are also multiple since there are two product receipts and two purchase orders. So now we can see both the lines in a single invoice. Cricket ball and leather cricket ball, both of them are 10 quantity, 100 each and 150 each, 1000 and 1500 as the line amounts. And you can see purchase order number is different here in the invoice line, and product receipt number is also different in the invoice line. So both are two different purchase orders. You can also add one more purchase order if you want to by using this option. If there is any other pending purchase order which is already in invoice status, if the vendor is sending a single invoice for all the goods that you have delivered on this multiple orders, then you can create a single invoice like this and add multiple orders or adjust multiple orders to the invoice at a time. So that's how it will work. Now we can give an invoice date for this, some other date. Then you can also see match product receipts here. You will see multiple product receipts, two, two for each order. I mean, one for each order, two of them actually. So this one, product receipt number 56. This is product receipt number 57. For this line, you have one, and for this line, you have one. That's all. Then you can click on update my status. It will be in past the status. Then you can post the invoice. Single invoice only you can post for both the purchase orders at a time. I'll post it. So first purchase order is for 1000. Second purchase order is for 1500. Now if the invoice gets posted, the voucher will be for 2500. It will reverse the two product receipt vouchers as well as it will post a new invoice voucher. Now you can see this is disappeared from here since this invoice is posted now. Now you can identify this invoice in the open vendor invoices page if you want to. So suppose it's no more pending, right? You posted it. So you can see it here in the open vendor invoices page here, or you also have another inquiry. Suppose if I go to open vendor invoices, here you can see invoice numbers. So you can see that here, or you can also filter it here by you clicking on this. You can use the filter option also. This also you can use. So now this is the invoice that we have posted, 56, 57. This one. Or if you go to all purchase orders, now refresh this page. You can see both the orders are invoiced, invoiced and invoiced. If you go here for purchase order number 5, go to invoice and go to invoice journal. You can see invoice number 56, 57 here. If you go to the voucher, so you can see this one. I mean, it will show you the entire invoice voucher at a time. 2500 being used for accounts payable is created for 2500. Inventory invoiced is debited for 2500. The same with accrued purchases and inventory received. This is also reversed. I mean, the product receipts of two orders are combinedly reversed here in the invoice voucher that you can see in these two lines, and the first line and the last line are for the original invoice voucher, accounts payable being credited and the inventory being debited. That's all. Then you can also see the same invoice again on this purchase order also, purchase order number 6. If you go to invoice, you can see the same invoice journal here, and then you can see the voucher here. That's all. And there is also another way where you can consolidate two invoices of a, I mean, two invoices for a purchase order as well. So that we will see in our next class, maybe different way of how to consolidate two invoices. And after that, in tomorrow's class, we're going to discuss about prepayment invoice process as well. Once after completing that consolidation of invoices process, we'll also discuss about prepayment invoice process. So if this process is clear, I mean how to create a single invoice for multiple POs. So they should be for the same vendor again. That's the key point. If it is for different vendors, you don't have, I mean, you can't create that. So you have to create separate invoices because both the vendors cannot send a single invoice, right? So then that would be all for today.